speed, quickness. You gotta be kidding me! Sowers all by himself!
From Nemo Lacrosse, we've got an exciting week of lacrosse ahead of us with tons of PLL games. The face-off drama continues, and let's get into this breakdown. Water Dogs versus Whip Snakes, Friday, July 14th, ESPN+. I'm excited to see if the Water Dogs will continue to use their new face-off strategy against the Whip Snakes, who I think right now are a better team than the Chrome, especially offensively. The Water Dogs do this best with Eli Gobricht facing off with a pull. On the close wing, a deep pull, and the far wing, a midi. The wings would make sure to lock off to help force turnovers, and the Water Dogs did an excellent job of forcing Connor Farrell back into the defensive zone, locking off those wings like I mentioned, and forcing those turnovers because this is a team that is great at forcing turnovers. The challenge here is that the Whip Snakes are a much better offense. If I'm the Whip Snakes, I may start with my offensive middies on the wings early in the game. The reason I do this is because I'd want to get out to an early lead. I understand that it may cause some exhaustion, but as the game goes on and your team is more comfortable with an early lead, then you can put in the LSMs and other midfielders out for fresh legs. Another thing to pay attention to is the injury report here. Matt Dunn is out. Matt Rambo, Jake Bernhardt, and Michael Earhart are all listed as questionable. It's difficult because I make all of these picks before the official rosters come out, and I don't really get to see who's in or who's a scratch. If the Water Dogs, if the Whip Snakes are healthy, then I would call it an upset. If they aren't, well, I just don't see how the Water Dogs lose here. Again, that's kind of my pick. I know I'm kind of switching between the two, but for me, if the Whip Snakes are healthy, I do think we could get a really big upset here. Archers versus Redwoods, Friday, July 14th on ESPN+. This is by far the game of the week, by the way. Number 1 and number 2 teams in my ranking, Archers taking that first spot. And number 1 and number 3 in the PLL standings, Archers again taking their first spot. We are going to see a ton of highlights from both teams, especially if Tom Schreiber and Grant Ament can play. They are both listed as questionable right now. Ryder Garnsey is putting up an MVP season, not only statistically, you gotta watch the tape. And when you watch him play, he is so creative. He's bringing the game to a whole nother level. Ground ball machine. Every single week, he is on social media making crazy highlights. This is a game where the face-off does matter, and it's because the Archers have Mike Sisselberger. I think his strength and athleticism sets him apart from other face-off men in the league, except for maybe you could argue Trevor Baptiste. For me, though, and this is just a theory, it's because of his wrestling background. His ability to not get pushed back into the defensive zone and start the offense with a short shot clock is really impressive. And in an era with the short shot clock, whether you like it or not, this might have been the pick of the draft. I do love the Redwoods, but the Archers, to me, are more complete. I am going with the safe choice here in the Archers, but I think we will get a very, very good game, and I would not be surprised if the Redwoods pulled off the upset and took that number 1 spot. Chrome versus Cannons, Saturday, July 15th on ESPN2. This one is easy for me. I'm going Cannons. I don't really have to think about it. The Chrome haven't shown me that they can put together a real non-sloppy game. It's just that this offense has been poor to start the season. Defensively, they've been good. But if they want to win, they need to keep the score low because the Cannons are really, really offensively. Sean Scanoni is going to have to play out of his mind. The Cannons have a really high shooting percentage right now. And you got guys like Asher Nolting coming around the crease a lot and pressuring this defense. Marcus Holman, who just broke some records last weekend. It's going to be tough to play defense against this team. So you're going to have to score points. The Cannons also may come out with a unique face-off look. I'm excited to see if they do this against the Chrome. but I'm confident in the Cannons nonetheless. Atlas versus Chaos, Saturday, July 15th on ESPN+. The Chaos are 2-0 when fielding their actual starting roster. They're 0-2 when not doing so. CJ Costabile and Josh Byrne are both questionable, but I think they are good to go, or at least Josh Byrne is. This is not a good matchup for the Atlas right now. I don't have to paint the picture for you because their defense has been so bad. 19 points allowed in the last 2 games each. I think Drake Porter could get the start at goalie this week because Concannon hasn't been great, not only statistically, but you just watch some goals that you know, and he probably knows he should not let up. I saw an article on the PLL website by Daniel May that was really well done, talking about how this game might be a little bit of an experiment. Dane Smith is moving to attack to change up this offense and hopefully get some more firepower. And what they hope, I think, is to get more finishing shots at that higher percentage. I didn't agree with all the points made in the article. Again, I thought it was well done. We just both have different opinions. But I believe that having your best players at attack make the offense better. I've coached teams that don't have finishers or different makers at the attack positions, and most of them have been at the midi position. It's very, very hard to scheme up and outcoach, especially really, really good defense. And I think this move will improve the offense because Dane, to me, will be able to, 1, finish at a better rate, and 2, assist at a better rate. I think that his creativity will help this offense. Again, we will have to see. I mean, there's only one way we figure out whether this test will work. It's by playing the game. There's no way to predict what will happen, but I do think it's smart to experiment this against the worst defense in the league right now. I've got the Chaos winning, but I hope the Atlas can get some stops and let their incredible offense make this a game. Do I think we'll see it? I'm not quite sure. Let me know your predictions down below, your favorite teams, your favorite players, and maybe some of your favorite matchups coming up this weekend. Thanks for watching EMO Lacrosse. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment if you love field lacrosse.